Hey everybody, welcome back to another hot day here in Florida. It's over 100 degrees out. I'm already sweating. Just finished with baseball, but you know, it's been a while. I want to give you an update on the drag car, the OG Ghia, and you know, first things first, RPM guys. I know it's been going around. I've been modifying cars for a very long time. Follow these guys, sign the petition on this, you know, so they don't stop us from modifying our street cars. So just wanted to throw that out. And don't forget, if you're watching the video, subscribe, you know, so I can get this going. You know, like the channel and, you know, put a thumbs up on it. So big update, did a couple things with the car. We're getting really close. I'll show you in a little bit. Today I'm gonna cut more of the body so we can try to get the body over the car by the end of this video, if not the next video. We did get some stuff done and pushing forward. I ended up finding hopefully another guy that's willing to finish the welds. There are some welds I still need done on the drag car. The other guy, he's completely done, you know, it's totally fine. So I found another guy, he's gonna do my intercooler piping, finish my exhaust, since I have to redo that anyway. So that'll be coming up in the next couple weeks or so. But right now, I'm pretty much done messing with the car, welding wise. I'm not really good into welding, so I mock some things up, find somebody else that can finish the welding, and then we'll go from there, and then that'll put us to the next step. So let me show you what we got done with the car. On the ground, I ended up buying more piping because I needed to do more things, but funny car cage is on, not completely finished. Not sure if I'm satisfied with it either, but it is on for right now. What I did end up doing is getting the gas tank on. I got the battery mounted. What I had to do was move this, since the steering box is kind of in the way. These are factory brackets that go to the center beam of the Volkswagen. So I ended up cutting these, tack weld them, and move it over so I can put this battery bracket or box, whatever you want to call it, put up there. Bought some bolts, put some spacers. I'll see when the body comes on if I need that much spacers, but that's there. So battery I had laying around, that's holding. Good test right there. Ended up putting all the other pipes. Not sure if I'm going to add more, but that's about it. Got the cylinders, the brake cylinder, clutch cylinders for the Wilwood pedal assembly. Welded a metal steel plate there. Got the net tack welded on, so the net is there. Got this taken care of. So there's some welds here that aren't going to get fixed from the new guy, or not the new guy, but the other guy that's going to do it. But we ended up, this car is really small compared to a Beetle. I think I mentioned that. The pedals are as far as back as I think I can get it. If I have to push it back more to give me more room, it is. I'll try to do that. So I got the floor, but more pipes need to be done there. The engine is back on. The intercooler, what we're thinking is going to go here. Intercooler piping is going to go right there. So I ended up getting an anti-roll bar, so that's on. That's from Rhodes. I got it from Summit. We're probably going to weld a little bit more stuff on there to hold that. So that's going to really help with adjusting this to the rear suspension on the car, which I'm really excited about. So engine's back on. I ended up stripping the engine. So the block is a bare block. Everything is over here. I have the cam sitting there, the rods, the pistons, pump, and a couple other things here too. So the crank is there. The crank is good. There's no problem with the crank. We are going to use the crank. Just get it cleaned up at the machine shop. A couple things. I'm not going to use any of this. Just probably this that holds the cam gear, and get some air P bolts for the crank. I'm not sure about the cams. We'll see. I'm going to read up on horsepower numbers and stock cams. If we ended up having to upgrade the cams, we'll upgrade the cams. So that's another thing. So here's the pistons. I mean, they look pretty good. Nothing's wrong with them. I'm not going to use them. I already have H-beam rods coming in. Oh, I have them actually already. So that's good. So on the next agenda, I cut some of the Ghia on this side. I got the Sawzall from my dad. We're going to end up cutting more. I'll cut the back, and then you know, we'll see how far we get so we can get the body on top of the car. So let's try that out. Getting close. I got it on jack stands. Cut this piece out. Then I'm going to move on to the back. Some batteries and a weight to hold the car down because the weight was there. But I think now that I got some weight off, it's not as bad. But still got a lot of cleaning up to do. Got to trim that piece off, trim this off, clean all that back there because the tire goes in there. Clean it up, cut it out. It's kind of flimsy already now. Trying to keep the heater channels. Hopefully I can. I'm going to measure some stuff, but keep cutting, trimming, cut, and then once we put the body on, we can see what we keep and we don't keep. So let's keep it going. Another rainy day in Florida. That's okay, because we got the body on, and look how it looks. A lot of people like the color, to leave it like that, but to leave it and just clear it. But I'm not gonna do that. So, looks so good, looks like an actual car now. I'm super excited. Oh man. Looks so wide when the body's on there. How wide the cars look. Tires tucked in. It's just laying on there. Me and my dad had to put it in sideways to get it up there. But just show you, I don't know if you guys can see it over there. Let me get a light. Probably can't see. You can see the fender well. Well, on this one is touching, I guess, because something's holding it. It's being held up by the heater channels over there at the corner. So I have to cut that more. I have to cut the wheel wells actually a lot more because the body needs to come down on both sides. You can see over there is touching. Tires touching the body. So, but it was just a quick mock-up. More cutting needs to be done. Somebody already picked up the metal. Need to cut this straight. Well, not this piece, but need to cut that straight, cut it straight, cap it off on that side. I'm glad I get to keep all of this. We'll line it up. It does need to go. You see it's a little offset, so the body needs to come up a little bit further, but there's plenty of room. It is squatting a little bit, but still plenty of room. Later on in the future, if I want to run a bigger tire, I can do that. So glad I'm looking at it from here. You can see where the throttle body is. A piece of that is still going to be cut off. The intercooler piping, I'm going to talk to I already talked to somebody regarding that, so we're going to take the body back off, trim more while I get the intercooler piping made. The air intercooler is going to be here, and then the piping one's going there, and then from the turbo this way. So we'll try that out. Maybe in the future we'll do a different turbo setup, but for right now that's what's going to happen. So the throttle body, not the linkage, but I don't know why I can't. Yeah, I'll just use linkage for right now. The spindle one where you put the wire on, the cable, throttle cable on, that is hitting the body, which is okay. So I have to trim the body back there a little bit. Body is going to come down, so it does look like the engine's probably going to stick outside of the body, which is, I mean, needs to come down more anyway. You can see it from over there what it needs to look like. So I don't want to move it too much and pinch the tire. So once we cut that, but it looks so good. You know, plenty of room. I think I might replace this or get another one. It's kind of bothering me of how the setup is. So that's another story. I'm not sure right now. So I want the hoop. I'm gonna get a helmet on and put it on. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it is what it is. But yeah, so next step is I really don't need to do much with the car. I have to cut some pieces out over there. Find out when his availability is. I ordered some intercooler piping that we're gonna cut and weld, or he's gonna cut and weld, get it set up so we can get that mocked up, get the blow-off valve mocked up, get the exhaust done, because it's gonna come out right here in the quarter panel. Since right now it's not able to do it because the anti-roll bar is hitting, but it looks so good. That's how it looks with the engine. Yeah, the engine is gonna be sticking up a little bit, so, or a lot. So you see that? Yeah, it's gonna. This is probably need to cut it out a little bit wider just to give it some room. Really nice. Cut this because I already cut my leg off in the back. Cut that straight down. Cut that straight down. Cut all of this. I think they sell that. I can probably get that trim or find somebody else that has it. Cut it out. Get that welded in. I'm sure a couple of Volkswagen shows are coming. But it's good to look at it like this. How much room? So there is a lot of room I can play with. I can put the radiator over here. I can do a couple other things. Make some brackets off the body to use it. Just so many things, you know. I don't know. I have to look if some people leave this open next to the body because of the smoke, the tires. I'm not really sure, so I have to figure it out. I'm sure I'll probably remake my own wheel well. I don't know. Yeah, we'll figure it out. maybe I'll put some plates here to cover this, or not plates, some sheet metal to cover the tire from putting any rubber on the engine, or I don't know. We'll figure it out when that time comes. I got to look at more pictures of other cars, that what they got going on. I do know once the body goes even lower, it's going to be really hard in case anything breaks to take the wheel off to work on stuff. So we're going to have to cut the quarter panel when that happens. But I'm not really too concerned about that right now, which needs to put more brackets for the body to hold. It is kind of flimsy, but it looks really cool. So just wanted to show you guys that. I'm probably going to stare at this for a while just to see where everything could go, but there is plenty of room. You know, I'm going to get a wing made, so that will cover that up here. Usually what they do is they make a box right here with flaps, because so much air, the air's coming through, you don't want it to hit the box, so they put vents or like little flaps, doors that open so the air can come through, just right through. But looks good. Just want to show you guys what it looks like with the body, and then I'll keep you updated on the stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again.